Well, a chance for Fnatic, that's about as good as I can give them as well, because MIBR are certainly looking in hot form today, but series not over just yet. So let's see what Fnatic will present to us here on MIBR's own map pick.
MIBR just creeping up this connector area with the Glocks, and it's a setup in the con from Fnatic. 3 people here.
Phelps starts off nicely, and they are very aware of the position of JW as well. But the crossfire setup for Fnatic does actually get the better of them. coldzera, however, all 3 players fall to his Glock. And there you go. Crims, well, he is apparently a bit of a rock. But a rock against 4 MIBR players may not be that big of a deal.
Absolutely insane. That was such a good setup for Fnatic to be taking into that round in particular. Definitely could have caught MIBR in like a 3-on-3 and even had the extra player in the top of con to be able to come down for the trade there. But coldzera just goes absolutely mental and blows everyone's head off. And there's Fnatic's hopes and dreams of winning the pistol and getting off to a good start on this CT side. Absolutely crushed.
If coldzera is going to bring that kind of form into Overpass as well, not to mention how clean that kill onto Crims was too, then I think Fnatic are going to have a very, very difficult night ahead of them. Not that it may last too much longer because, well, 2-0 here for MIBR. They're through to at least the quarterfinal, most certainly the upper bracket final of Group B, and maybe even all the way to the semis, depending on a match against NRG. For now, though, we'll see what Fallen can do. JW pops his head on up, and there goes JW straight back down.
Slow creeping pace coming out from MIBR as they smoke off the toilet, and Molly in the divider flashes over long control as they take that, and Taco just making sure no one's getting too cheeky on the extremities. So MIBR cleared out long A, cleared out the divider, connector. They're going to make their way up this A-bomb site and clear out the toilets.
Taco just waiting for the push out from Fnatic, and he does actually go down. Interesting that it is an AK, given that role. Means there's one now for Fnatic to play with. It's unlikely, of course, that they're going to use it to win this round, but you know what? Fallen can take it through to the next round, then fantastic.
Potentially a bit of an aggressive position considering the context of the greater round there from Taco. He does get punished for it. So, an extra AK for Fnatic. They're going to be pretty happy about that one.
There's
they
2.
Can hold on to it. And yep, you're right. Another one. There's no one from MIBR able to be in position to trade that, so they're going to be able to pick that one up as well.
That's a little disappointing for MIBR.
It's going to help Fnatic get off to a pretty good start in this game, I would imagine. Once they get the guns rolling for themselves, that's definitely going to boost their economy pretty heavily.
As far as a pistol round goes for Fnatic, like obviously they didn't really do anything there to MIBR, but to take 2 AKs out of the round, you would be very happy.
100%. It's going to force the rebuys out of the T side. It's going to really boost your ability to buy up a lot of utility, even after losing the pistol and heading into this 3rd round buy. You're going to have a lot more than you may have had otherwise. Not sure if they're going to have the money for the AWP, but definitely a lot of cash to be able to buy up a huge wealth of utility on Crimson Twist. Here's some aggression out from Fnatic. Broland getting aggressive up towards the fountain. Sent in by JW, but look at the pace from coldzera up short.
Yeah, I was going to say similarly, coldzera very, very quick into the B bomb site. Gets a fairly hefty tag onto Twist. Would have loved to have actually finished that frag off for MIBR, but nonetheless, the damage initially is always a good start.
Fnatic haven't found anything with this A aggression, have just been slowly pushed off, and now Taco making his way out. Monster doesn't actually get killed there. I think that was exist up on the pipe that could have definitely punished him for getting aggressive on that angle.
In fact, Taco barely takes any damage in the context of how that engagement should have gone, really. It's only on 74 HP, like you cannot be disappointed. And for Fnatic now, they've run out of a lot of that utility, only a couple of incendiaries left, 1 or 2 smoke grenades. But MIBR starting to pressure into the B bomb site right now. It's coldzera again leading the charge from short. Taco gets one out from Monster. And Crims will trade back with that incendiary of his. But still a 3v4, and it's still MIBR, the ones that actually have made their way into the B bomb site and taken control.
Indeed, still on Crims in this retake position, but he finds the right timing to get a one-on-one on Taco.
He's always been a very strong CT-sided player. Brolan has a chance here, but Fur, wow, just flicks around and shuts him down. Crims will say, no thank you, I am out of here. Took this AK from you guys last round, I'm going to keep it through this round as well.
Twist was the man with actually a smoke on his belt, but he goes for a bit of a dry push into short B when they're well aware that Cold Zero has been pretty aggressive in that part of the map and gets punished for it. So the one main piece of utility that they could have used to cut that push in half and slow things down, apart from the Molotov that Crims did throw out, was lost when he went for that walk push into short.
Yeah, but you can't really be messing around against MIBR right now. Coming into this tournament, sure, okay, MIBR hasn't looked fantastic. Certainly not up to the standard that we would expect from these 5 players. But thus far, against Fnatic, they have just utterly destroyed. So any small mistakes or any mismanagement of positions or anything like that from Fnatic is just going to be punished straight away by MIBR tonight.
And this is interesting to see Fnatic playing in that particular setup with such little utility, particularly with how aggressive MIBR were allowed to be towards short B and just walking out Monster, you know. A lot of the time you would see when a CT team lacks utility, often you'll run that close setup between the pillar and close to Monster and stuff like that and just lock things down with the crossfire and the 2 CT players playing off of each other. Probably would have worked a little bit better against what MIBR was doing, but first round, so there's nothing really for Fnatic to read off of in deciding what setup in particular they want to go for. Plenty of time for them to be changing things and adapting, but unfortunately, that last round, getting those AKs, they haven't really made use of them. And now they're going to have to go for the half buy and try to do some damage to MIBR's economy before it starts to really build and build.
Some forward positioning at the very least from Fnatic in this round. Obviously, they've only got the pistols and the scout.
Alright.
Okay. Crims, what's going on there, buddy?
Literally threading the eye of the needle on that angle.
Won't be too impactful in the grand scheme of the round. MIBR have walked their way into the A bomb site. Bit of utility used there. The only way that this kind of falls apart is if Broline can have a nice cheeky peek out from long, which does actually occur. So Fur drops as well, but he's kind of overcommitted to the peak there. Fallen will punish him for that. Now he's just coming around from the bathrooms. Phelps is holding the line, and very, very nicely done from him. Will shut down any chance of the round going the way of MIBR, of Fnatic.
Three guns up for MIBR. Pretty decent run into things. So now Fnatic with another chance to finally strike on this CT side. That's 2 maps in a row. MIBR off to a pretty blistering start, and it's just the manner in which they're doing so. All of these players looking so sharp and so switched on.
Very early investment into the double AWP from Fnatic here.
See how it will work out for them. Definitely have one of the better qualified AWP, 2 times AWP setup in terms of JW and Twist. Particularly because JW is a player who on the secondary AWP can be pretty dynamic and aggressive in some strange positions that could catch his opponents off guard. But a very passive approach to things from Fnatic. Little peek over that toilet smoke, but now they're going to send Brolan up close to long A on the pot plant, and JW will post on the far line, but he doesn't have a flashbang to be able to send him into long A or anything like that. Over on the side of MIBR again, slow creeping pace for them, connected control. Now starting to go towards long and toilets. Taco just making sure no one's pushing the extremities and getting any additional information.
Well, JW seems a little concerned as to what's happening here on long. I think he needs to, at this point, have faith in Brolan because the real offensive is going to be coming through bathrooms, if anywhere, from MIBR. Seeing them slowly start to work their way forward for leading that charge.
I think MIBR are very well aware that this setup is a possibility because you saw how Fallen was playing anti-flash at that corner. You can see that flash even coming out. That's a hard counter strat from MIBR.
Yeah, that's what JW's worried about now as well because it leaves him high and dry here on A. We'll actually be able to escape behind the smoke and behind Optimus. But he's just still the only one left alive on this bomb site. Everyone else that tries to take a duel against MIBR at this point is being swept aside, no problems at all. And this push through from Fur, he's got himself in a good position. JW won't last much longer unless Twist saves him. This should be 2 for Fur. He does actually manage to get 2. Not quite the third there onto Fallen instead. But I thought for a moment Fur was going to let that one slip. JW started to turn around. The spray wasn't perfect. Nonetheless, it's still a good start for MIBR. 5-0 now, and we've talked about that, I think, to death on Nuke. Fnatic once again are going to go back onto an eco.
And I said it earlier on in the round, like, JW didn't have a flashbang to be able to send Brolin into long, and you could see Fallen playing anti-flash at the tree, expecting that to come out. Once MIBR do start to get that toilets control, they seemed very well aware of what the setup was from Fnatic, playing anti-flash in case that flash does come out from that site AWPer, which is often the case, sending that pot plant guy into long A to be able to find a quick frag and then fall back later on in the round. And MIBR just a nice pop flash to hard clear it once they take the bathroom control and just absolutely destroyed. Seems like MIBR has definitely done their homework on Fnatic here.
As is to be expected, this is for a place at Qudos Bank Arena. There's a lot riding on this game.
It's a lot easier to do your homework on the map that you know you're going to pick in the series. Particularly if there's a lot of data on the other team. Fnatic do play this map quite a bit. You know, you heard it from Zeus. He said they're pretty good on this map.
You can imagine that if MIBR does win this as well, they'll feel like they're in a pretty good spot to actually make it through to the semis. I would say that NRG is probably on paper the weakest of the 3 teams that have already qualified for the Qudos Bank Arena. Those being Liquid, NIP, and NRG. And I think MIBR will be happy with the opponent that they're going to face should they win here. Feeling like, talking like that is already a foregone conclusion, but it certainly isn't just yet. Fnatic need to step up, though, on Overpass, otherwise it is going to be really more of a formality than anything else for MIBR, just like this round.
It's good stuff from MIBR, just avoiding that stack on the B-bomb site. Going to start to close out this round fairly cleanly, I would imagine. So far, 5 guns alive. Doesn't look like Fnatic have too many opportunities to actually be getting exits here.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty chill performance so far from MIBR. Like, they haven't really had to do anything outstanding. They've kind of been working their way through these maps and through these rounds fairly comfortably, but they've never had to sort of rely on a big clutch or a massive play out of an individual necessarily.
I think the plays have been going out. You contrast it to the last series that we casted with NRG playing, and it felt like NRG were a bit more switched off individually than MIBR are in this series.
Yeah, but
these players are definitely looking sharp, and they're hitting the multi-frags.
The point I'm trying to make, though, is that they don't need to rely on that.
Yeah.
For MIBR. Like, it seems to be working regardless of whether or not those big plays do come out. But it is, I guess, in a way, good to see for MIBR. Like, if the individuals are stepping up in this match against Fnatic, that's something that we can expect later on down the track from them as well. And that gives you some faith against some of the tougher competition. Although, in essence, Fnatic should be really one of the tougher competitions here at IEM Sydney. They came in as the 3rd seed for this group, with FaZe being 1st seed, MIBR being 2nd, and then Fnatic would be 3rd. But not really posing much of a threat to MIBR today.
I think that's the unfortunate thing with Fnatic, that you know, they can show some pretty good performances against some of the better teams in the world, but sometimes they just fall really flat. And in certain tournaments, they can look a lot worse. Like, you know, at Star Series, they had a pretty good run, but you know, in some other tournaments like Katowice, they got knocked out in fairly convincing fashion. It's looking like they're closer to the latter sort of performance in this match in particular.
Perhaps.
Bit of a change up for MIBR. Looks like they're going to be going straight out this monster tunnel. Flashbang to set up these players on the line.
It's a double AWP setup, though, for Fnatic, so if the execute doesn't actually come out here for MIBR, this may well be the first round that Fnatic is able to find. Exist is holding that line. Twist's watching towards short. We know how dangerous the AWP can be if MIBR is not expecting it. Grenade is going to go through here. Doesn't actually do as much damage as MIBR would have liked. Now it's time for Fallen to take the peek right into Twist's crosshair. That certainly is going to slow down MIBR. All of the utility thrown into Monster.
Super well played from Fnatic. Great patience from the lads. That was a pretty interesting push coming out of MIBR. But it's being completely shut down by Fnatic at the moment. They're just biding their time. They're waiting for the overcommitment from Fnatic.
It's not happening.
Never came.
Yeah, Taco was flashed through the Monster Tunnel there. No real problem at all for Twist, and this is definitely looking like a better round for Fnatic. Once the double AWP is in their hands, things are starting to prove more fruitful. Twist having a great time on the B-bomb side at the moment. And for Phelps, just try and do some economic damage, because still Fnatic's money is not in a particularly amazing position. Crims will make sure that any semblance of economic damage is going to be disappearing very quickly indeed. 6-1 though. First round on the board for Fnatic, great, but need to see more.
Yeah, MIBR just tried something I saw Astralis doing quite a while ago, where throw that Molotov onto the barrels and Exist puts it out with the smoke, and they tried to nade stack him, but the man just ran away towards water. Didn't want to be sticking around and hiding in that smoke for too long. And when that didn't really work too well for them, they tried to set up the sort of the second wave of the push there. And then the second Fallen tries to move back around towards that short area and post up on the angle, gets absolutely railed by Twist, and then this bunch of utility that Fnatic were holding onto for quite a long time gets thrown out in the late round, and from there MIBR can't really do a whole lot. Now this time, they throw pressure onto B with the nades from Taco, which is going to force out nades from the B players early on in the round from Fnatic. But instead, MIBR just going to be making their way up Connector and up Divider now, putting pressure on the CTs. Brolan in particular, a rough spot.
Yeah, but he's going to be bailed out a little bit by JW. That certainly relieves the pressure. Still has plenty of bullets left in that AUG, but doesn't have a chance to even fire any. Fur looking sharp. So 1-for-1 trade in the grand scheme of things, and of course MIBR this time back toward the A bomb site where they've had so much success thus far on Overpass. But a big stack up there from Fnatic. 3 players ready and waiting. So MIBR, they may well be walking into a trap at this point. Flashbang over to Long from JW just to buy some more time, allows him to take a peek in toward Bathroom. Doesn't see a whole lot, and now the triple boost for Fallen.
I was wondering when it was coming out. Fnatic still leaning heavily on A, as Exist is just playing full retake on this B bomb site. But with that progression smoke, most people, I was going to say, most people are very, very well aware that the triple boost does often come out.
Well, a little bit of a toe tag there from JW onto Taco. Not going to be enough to finish him off, but there's 16 seconds now for MIBR to get into this bomb site. The grenade will do damage onto JW. The shotgun AWP not going to be good enough to deal with Fur, but maybe Exist can be the hero for the round, but not quite in time.
Traded out at the end of the day. When I saw a little clip from Big when that progression smoke came in, he was ready for the triple boost to come on. Up from that long A area, particularly when you're in a 4-on-4 or even in a man disadvantage situation. Something that's becoming more and more common, but this time does work for MIBR.
I mean, you can barely even spot the head there.
I think on different textures, it probably would have been easier to see there.
Well, maybe. Regardless, a good shot hit. And it really is the shot that I think won the round for MIBR, because it allowed them to push into the bomb site. If they don't get that kill, there's an extra player on A. Fnatic are having a very strong defensive hold. Got another big boost here for MIBR. Worked so well last time. See if it works again this time. Doesn't look like the opportunity is going to arise here. But of course, plenty of time to wait.
Well, Fnatic took the short B control, so there's no reason for them to actually jump spot in the location where you normally would. They already know exactly what's going on in that part of the map.
Yeah. So like unless someone floats in through Sniper's Nest or something like that, but realistically,
all right,
not going to happen.
Oh, I thought he was going to stay up there after flashing the angle, because that would actually give Fnatic a little bit more incentive in the position that they were in to jump spot it. But they won't do so. Twist just rechecking this area. This is going to make Fnatic feel pretty safe on this B bomb site, and you see the rotation coming out from Crims, who has all of the utility for Fnatic. But in actuality, it's MIBR going out monster.
Yeah, once again, Taco will be the one that has a look there. And they looked like they were actually going to commit to it, MIBR, but slowed down the pace just a little bit. Twist is going to have quite a bit of a handful here. Actually rotates out into a better position. Lots of players headed in his direction, though, and he can't deal with all of them. Taco gets an entry from Monster as well. JW is going to try and lock down this angle, but it's not going to be too useful for him, I don't think. Fur doesn't need to push any further. The bomb site is being controlled by coldzera and Taco. The remaining Fnatic players will be able to deny the bomb plant. JW somehow has gotten out. Taco's not even looking at him, doesn't care.
How's he missed
the bomb
those?
still goes down. So don't even worry about it, MIBR. 3v3 does turn into a 2v3 though, courtesy of Brolan, who's lost a lot of HP, but it's at the cost of coldzera's life, who was the high HP player for MIBR. And now Fur walks right into the crosshair of JW.
That was huge from JW. The man went aggressive into toilets with the AWP, gathering all the information for Fnatic and allows Crims to start to rotate as that hit comes in from MIBR. Then he just gets his flank on with the AWP. Closing things out there for Fnatic. Another huge impact round out. And now, I mean, MIBR's money's looking a little bit scuffed. They are still going to buy. I think Taco's going to have to go down to a pretty lackluster weapon. Over on the side of Fnatic, though, these rounds haven't been convincing enough for them to really build up a whole lot of money. Not that they've actually had that many rounds won in the first place.
Mac 10 for Taco. What kind of devastation can he wreak upon Fnatic with that weapon? Maybe not necessarily in terms of in the server, but mentality-wise, if Taco opens up with 1 or 2 here on a Mac 10, that is going to be another nail in the coffin for Fnatic. Here he goes. Let's see what he can do. Oh, Twist falls. That's not good at all, and maybe Exist will go down as well. The Glock, it gets the job done. Taco, how has he managed that with the guns that he had available? Goodness me. Well, Fnatic's going to be reeling after it. MIBR looks pretty happy, though. Pretty focused. JW and Brolon, what are they going to do? I think at this point you save, right? But already we're seeing the expedition for Phelps.
Yep, that's right. He's off to explore the corners of the map. Whew.
See ya.
JW, last one alive. See if he can hold on to the AWP.
Oh, he's been hitting some good shots with the AWP.
Yeah, and if he continues to do so, then holding this AWP over for Fnatic would be a big talking point. Does do so. Only 2 guns left alive for MIBR. I would say that's a bit of an over-enthusiastic hunt from the lads, considering their money's not doing too fantastic right now.
Yeah, true, but at the end of the day, they're still up 8-2, so okay, the economy is a factor, but I think for Fnatic, there's certainly bigger things to worry about at the moment. That may be a representation of how Fnatic is feeling at the moment as well. Or perhaps every Renegades fan, as we can see as well. It's true. Devastating that we're not going to be seeing Renegades in Qudos Bank Arena, but there is still hope, everybody. Chiefs and Greyhound, lower bracket of Group B. Who knows? Maybe the dream can continue with one of those teams.
I'm just happy that we're seeing a pretty convincing-looking MIBR right now. Even more exciting prospect than some of the Australian teams, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Remember watching them in the grand final of 17, I think it was.
It was 17?
Oh, lordy. That was a sight to behold for sure. Going to be some bit of a skirmish over bathrooms here, and whichever team wins this should be at a pretty massive advantage here. Lots of pressure being applied to that B bomb site for MIBR, which may prompt these A players to actually get a bit of a push on and find some information, depending on how threatened Fnatic feel over towards this B side of the map.
It certainly looks like that is what MIBR is trying to set up. 2 players watching for the rotates out from CTs on A, that being Phelps and Fur, and Bathrooms and Long respectively. Now the rotate does come across though.
Very patient stuff from Fnatic. They just leg each other.
Phelps is going to try and take advantage of it, but it does indeed fall. Good follow-up, though, from Fallen with the grenade.
Oh, Brolin can hear every single footstep coming out. Going down the connector, and he's following them down. Exist and Crims know well what's going on. They have a couple flashbangs.
Yeah, this is looking great for Crims to clean things up. The close angle, the SMG, it's all there for him. And 2 MIBR players as well that end up being more of a stat pad for Crims than anything else. 8-2, it's going to turn into 8-3, which is, okay, sure, getting a little better for Fnatic, particularly given the situation MIBR's money is in. But still a lot of work to do on this CT side for Fnatic before it regains some faith.
I mean, you said it was totally fine. They're up a lot of rounds, and that losing guns in the last round has actually come back to bite them, unfortunately. So now they're going to have to be force buying in this one. Around that AK that was held onto. Pretty interesting in that last round that MIBR, they put utility pressure on B. They were spread out all around the map to try to catch some of the rotates coming out from Fnatic, and Fnatic just went, nah, I'm going to stay right where I am.
No worries.
I'm going to sit in this exact same setup.
Try it again, MIBR. They're forced into the round.
Well, it's the same problem as last time. Fnatic have short B control, so there's no point. There's no reason for them to be jump spotting there in the first place.
Yeah, I think though with a buy like this for MIBR, it's not a bad idea just to try and get a bit of a cheesy pick with the AWP.
Yep.
It's not going to work out this time. I guess if you keep trying it, eventually it's going to happen.
Maybe.
But they're going to have to find those openings by some other means in this round. Either Fur or Fallen will be the one that we look to.
And grouping up towards this toilet and bracket area. There is no one here from Fnatic. No one's even setting foot in toilet, so as far as Broland's concerned, no one's here. But look at Fnatic, they've got a lot of information over towards B. They're going to play full retake on this A bomb site, and they're going to set up a bit of a net around the entirety of MIBR at this point.
Well, this man right here could make the difference. Fallen misses the shot. Good trade though from coldzera with the deagle, but it is one of the major weapons lost for MIBR with that AWP falling. It's going to be picked back up by Phelps. Still a chance in this round here, MIBR, but they are being flanked by Fnatic on all sides. As the AWPs start to ring out across the map. Twist opens another one. 3 players left here for MIBR. Already on the defuse is JW, and this might well be a very anticlimactic finish as coldzera gets the better of his own teammate. But that's the end of the round, and well, Fnatic win it with quite a few guns alive.
Over on the side of MIBR, pretty sad state of affairs in terms of the money they're going to have to half buy into this one. Try to chip away at Fnatic's economy, but that was a pretty nice retake from Fnatic.
Bang, there you go. Stitch that, Phelps. How's that feel?
Not good, but a little better once you cast your eyes to the top of the scoreboard and realise you're winning 8-4 and you're already up a map.
Yeah, Fnatic have strung a couple of rounds together though, and they're starting to look better.
That's right.
So I don't think that MIBR can be resting on their laurels just now. There's still more to be said for Fnatic here at IEM Sydney. coldzera though wins the aim battle against Broland.
Question of damage for MIBR at this point, really. But Fnatic's economy looking pretty good at this point. They do keep everyone alive again in this round. It'll continue to look better, but that's bad couple of frags to be losing. That might actually be round losing at this point. 2 AWPs take it away for MIBR. So all it's going to take, it's this easy, Jordan. All it's going to take is 2 clicks.
That's so easy.
Just 2 left mouse clicks.
Man, even I could do that.
And MIBR can take this round away. They can have it.
One wrong peek from Crims here, and he's going to be a dead man. For watching one angle, Phelps is watching another. If he takes a look into long, that'll be the end of him. So far, though, being very stoic, very patient behind the boxes on the A bomb site. Will get the better of Fur. That helps out. And that is a fantastic use of the incendiary. 25 seconds here for MIBR. He's spotted them out now as well. And crossed back into Bank. So this is looking very tough for MIBR to actually finish off now. Depending on where they do end up planting, Exist is potentially going to be able to shut the round down himself. Looks like they will not spot Crims. And he should well finish it off. He does. Crisis averted for Fnatic.
Hero of that round, but by the same token, that's a lot lost for Fnatic. And AWP, multiple rifles. It's going to be costly on their economy, particularly if they want to buy back into the double AWP going forward. But with only a couple rounds left to play with in the half, they probably won't be punished super hard for it. Maybe heading into the last round, one guy will have to go down to a FAMAS or a UMP or something like that, but past that, I'm not sure they're going to be too concerned. Maybe 2 people, now that I look a bit closer at the money. Over on the side of MIBR, taking a bit of chip damage from that utility over towards the party area, but it is just a nice, solid, spread-out approach from the lads. A lot of utility pressure again on this B-bomb site, and Fnatic is reacting in kind, throwing a lot of Molotovs and counter-flashes out towards that monster area. And with this pressure that MIBR created with the utility, they storm up long and pick JW very early on into the round.
It's coldzera of all people, 9 HP, no fear, just takes the wide swing on long. Pops his head off. There goes JW. There goes one of the guys that's actually been hitting quite a few nice frags here for Fnatic.
And MIBR, they pump the brakes. They're going to set up some kind of an execute onto this A-bomb side or wait for a mistake to come out for Fnatic.
Well, they've got 3 smokes, 2 mollies, and a flashbang to work with. It's enough for an execute, that's for sure. But once they get into the site, there won't be too much counter utility.
Broline getting his push on for long, but you can see Cold's already ready for it. He's holding the angle.
Crim's just going to back away into Bank. Broline may well be a key player in this round for Fnatic. coldzera, as you say, watching the angle. He's going to get timed here. Broline gets the better of him, but it has allowed the bomb plant to go down for MIBR. So even now, it's favouring them. In the 4v4, Crim's in a nice angle, though. Does get the better of Taco. Has to back away behind Optimus. Fallen will trade out exist.
No utility here for Fnatic. They can't smoke the bomb, so they're going to have to be winning these aim duels.
Difficult to do at the moment, given the form that MIBR's players are in. This is what I'm talking about. Phelps just bangs the head off of Broline. Fallen gets another. And now it's into the 1v1, but Fur has all the cards in his back pocket, except he hasn't got his gun out. And Crims just takes the aim duel, and, well, it's not really an aim duel at that point, is it? Because there's no bullets coming back at him. They win the round.
Unbelievable. There you go. Fnatic put together multiple frags and pretty much complete what I thought was an impossible situation for them to be winning. And usually in those kind of situations, it really is what it looked like there. Just a couple of mistakes coming out from MIBR. Obviously, you can't blame coldzera too much. He's got 9 HP, so him even dying to Broline is a pretty decent state of affairs for MIBR, because at least they know where that player is on the flank. It's not like he's going to multi-frag. And then it comes down into the 4-on-4. They've got the post plant set up with the bomb down. And then even into the 3-on-3, and they couldn't quite convert it, unfortunately. Should have been a favourable scenario for the lads, but Crims just gets it done. And, you know, we said a lot of these players on Fnatic need to be stepping up, and we're seeing quite a few of them do so. I think it's a pretty solid across-the-board performance from Fnatic.
I mean, it's still 8 rounds on the T side of Overpass for MIBR, so it's nothing to scoff at. You know, sure, Fnatic's looking better than they were on Nuke, but I don't know, is it enough? Doesn't feel like it.
Right, yeah. Back into the double AWP on the side of Fnatic now, and MIBR, they have guns, but not a whole lot of utility to be leaning back on. Once again, going for that connector control, but no real emphasis towards the playground or party. And with Twist posted up on the angle, he should be gathering a fair bit of information for Fnatic at this point. He's locking down that entire fountain area just sitting in that long corner. He's going to continue pushing. With Broline knowing that no one's really in toilet at this point, Fnatic's going to feel pretty safe putting 3 players over onto this B-bomb site.
Are they? Because right now, MIBR is saying, well, this ain't your bomb site, this is ours. Phelps 2 entries, coldzera another. And Twist missed an important shot there. This looks like the end of the half is going to be swept away by MIBR quite convincingly.
In the same fashion that we've seen a lot of the rounds go the way of MIBR, just some very, very clean executes, some great timings for the riflers to come in off the back of the utility usage from MIBR, and then the cleanest entries you've ever seen being hit on the way into the bomb site. That's
what Broline needed on the retake, the cleanest entries into that site that he could have gotten, but I mean, a pretty good first half, I feel like, there from MIBR.
I would have to agree, and Fnatic, they're still looking a little bit too flat to really make this game a bit more competitive. Going to need to see a couple more of the lads step up, but overall, it's looking like a better map than Nuke was.
Have to agree, but a 2-0 still on the cards by the looks of things here for MIBR as they storm their way toward the semi-finals. We will, of course, find out if it's going to be them through after the break.
Stay up all night, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. Tell me everything's alright. Life is just a bunch of faces, and if it's not, we'll still be fine. I know we're going places. I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always. Sleep through the sunrise.
It's looking good so far for MIBR as Fnatic struggling a little bit there in the first half. Definitely not as much of a difficult one for them as it was on Nuke, but still leaves a bit to be desired. And well, MIBR, they're looking at that 2-0, they're looking at NRG, and they're also looking toward a semi-final placing, at the very least, at Qudos Bank Arena.
I mean, Sniper said on the desk that Fnatic's CT side was what needed to be feared here, and they needed to get a lot of rounds on that side if that is their stronger of the two, on Overpass in particular, and I don't think 6 would be a good number to be looking at.
It's not too fearsome, is it?
No.
But maybe the T side has some stories yet untold for Fnatic. Definitely an important pistol to come here. coldzera on the boost has spotted Crims, and there goes Crims, nothing to spot anymore. coldzera's been very good on the pistols here on Overpass. For also get some info for his team, backing away into the A bomb site under a lot of pressure though, and will fall to JW before anyone can really help him out. Here comes the scramble up to the site though from MIBR, and if they're going to be able to do anything, it probably needed to be before that smoke was going to pop, because now they're going to be locked away from the site. Flashbang's coming on through, Brolon in the close angle, coldzera will fall to him, and so too will Taco. Bomb's gone down in the meanwhile, and Fnatic looking poised to take this pistol round. Phelps is going to try and make something of it for MIBR, but won't be able to do a whole lot.
Pretty locked out at this bomb site. Going to have to be hitting some sharp shots, and there's the first for Fallen. Going to progress his way up onto the truck, but they need to clear Brolin out of bank.
Yeah, they're not having too much ease of doing that. Fallen going to give it a crack, and well, he does a decent amount of damage, but leaves Phelps with far too much to do on his own, and that timer has already ticked away. So for Phelps, no hope of winning the round. Just going to try and build a bit more bank up by finding 1 or 2 more picks here, but that's that. Fnatic win the pistol.
Phelps holds on to his armor, so small victory for the man. Could potentially buy himself a pistol into this next one, and interested to see what the approach is going to be from MIBR. A lot of these maps where sometimes you need a bit more of the utility, or you want to lean on that AWP as being a pretty important factor on your CT side. You will see some teams go for the force in this round in particular and just head towards that 3rd round. But there is an argument to be made that you can make it work on Overpass with just the rifles and limited utility. It is hard sometimes to hold that B bomb site without the Molotovs and the smokes that you need. You probably have to go down to an Ump or a Famis or something at that point, but in other parts of the map, you can definitely get it done. In Con or over towards A, you can find certain aggressive angles and create your opportunities there.
This is a very big stack from MIBR in the underpass and just outside of the bathrooms. They're going to push in towards Fountain here. They've spotted Broline and take the 2v1 aim duel. That'll go the way of Fur. Trade out, of course, there for Twist, but not too big of a deal for MIBR. Just try and take some guns away here from Fnatic. Force those reinvestments. Keep them thinking. Keep that pressure on Fnatic here. Oh.
Couldn't quite find the angle onto JW. But at some point with the SMG, you'd probably be happy that some USPs were shooting at him. He could probably just snap right around and make himself some money.
Phelps has managed to retrieve the AK that was dropped by Broline. And Cold Zera. 2 taps to the head, JW's down. All of a sudden, this round starts to look more and more doable for MIBR, at least in terms of maybe taking 1 or 2 more guns away. Take some guns through, and there it is. It's the UMP for Taco. AK for Phelps might well drop here, though. Actually just does get back out okay. He's lost all of his teammates, so I don't know. I'm not so sold on that one from Fnatic just yet. You know, they've dropped the AK, which is obviously the major prize there for MIBR to get out of that round.
Oh, $50 more, and Phelps could have thrown the AWP over to Fallen there. Not sure he would have necessarily done it, but it's the glass cannon from the man. Everyone else doing pretty all right. Not the best this utility on Taco, Cold Zera, and Fur in particular, but they can make it work, and you do see Taco just going down towards the Famis to make sure he has enough to get things done.
That's fair enough.
Right from the start of the round, Fallen actually going to head towards that long A area with the AWP and just jump straight up on the flower pot. Fur just using his smoke and hiding over towards this bathroom area. And over on Fnatic, they do take control of this short B area, but the flash over the top in the mid-round, early round push rather, from Cold Zera does bear fruit.
He's going to spot the bomb there as well. Not aware, or not ready at least for the push from Brolan. Good headshot with the Galil. Will make short work of Cold Zera. Taco on the bomb side here with a FAMAS. Not going to offer too much resistance at all, nor is Phelps. Goodness me. What has gotten into Brolan here?
And that's the problem for going with that third round buy on the CT side. If the Ts do really shove aggressively towards B and you don't have Molotovs to be able to slow down the push, and you can't, you know, smoke off short B or Monster and rain in the counter flashes when those Ts force their way out of B, it's pretty hard to shut that one down unless you have one player who goes absolutely mental and multi-frags, and Fnatic take full advantage of that. Looked fairly easy for them. They were able to get out fairly cleanly because they were never really slowed down by any kind of utility, and it was just a 1-for-1 over towards that monster tunnel.
It's nice from JW as well, keeping his gun alive and dispatching of that of Furs. Fallen won't miss a shot like that though, so he will be able to at least take the AWP through. And where does that leave the buy here for MIBR? Probably not possible, given Taco, Cold Zera, and Fur are a little bit low on cash.
Probably just pistols around the AWP, and then they could potentially, if Fallen finds an early pick, have a chance at actually closing out this next round. But if Fnatic play their cards right, they should be totally fine. Just need to dodge the potential that Fallen has to be able to make this a 5-on-4.
Where is Fallen playing at the moment?
He's going to get run boosted across the monster tunnel, and then he's going to try and take the angle up onto the player who lurks over there.
I'm not so sold on Fallen being able to get a pick from here at the moment. Doesn't seem like that's an angle that Fnatic is particularly interested in pushing just yet. Maybe patience will be rewarded though. Fur though.
How does he pick Brolan all the way at pipes from that angle with the CZ? That must have been a double tack at long range. That forces Fnatic's hands over towards B.
And Fallen has actually gotten that pick onto Exist as well. He's lined himself up for another. This is starting to look a little more dangerous for Fnatic than they would have liked. Fallen is being unleashed. 3 kills for him in the round, and that is exactly what MIBR needs. Fnatic have not been able to find themselves in the lead here at all in this series. And it looked for sure like now was their best opportunity. But straight away, that has been stolen away by MIBR, and Fallen in particular. 3 kills with that AWP. Guy with the one gun that could really make that kind of an impact, and he's been able to step up and do it. Great to see. Fur gets across as well. Crims now. Tense times for him. He does have the bomb, but he's only got 30 seconds, and to be able to actually win this round, it's going to be a little more difficult than he might have liked. There goes one onto Fur. Can he rotate his way up to the A bomb side and get the bomb down in time?
Fallen's going to beat him there. Set up on the angle before Crims even thinks about making his way over here. Doesn't even get to the site. And usually the way that you see it actually unfold is the AWP goes aggressive towards A and finds the pick onto the player, which forces the B push into the pistols. But if Fur uses his CZ like an AWP and just shoots someone long range like that, finding the pick and pushes them into Fallen, I guess that works too. This man is insane at winning these duels in the close quarters combat and repositioning himself.
4 very impactful kills for Fallen. 10-9 for MIBR, and their march continues towards Qudos Bank Arena. They missed out last year. It was really a disastrous performance for MIBR, actually, as they got knocked out in the lower bracket, the first round of the lower bracket to Greyhound, but they are definitely making amends for it this time. Felks, 1-for-1. Not going to be so great for MIBR there.
Yeah, they've lost connector control and given it over to Fnatic and even lost the man advantage. So not surprised to see Fallen throw down a smoke and go forward rather than backwards. He realizes that the CT's in a pretty scuffed position at this point, but with coldzera aggressive on short B, that's a lot of information that allows that extra rotation to come over from MIBR towards this A-bomb site. So triple boost to have a look at that long A pop plant from Fnatic. Don't see anyone there. Fallen, he won't back down.
He needs to make an impact again this round, and just a little unlucky to get the leg shot. But how is he still alive? Fallen's getting away with absolute murder. Gets the dink onto Twist as well. He's done so much damage there. Only the one kill, but it might actually set it up enough here for MIBR. If Taco gets a good shot onto Exist, which he does, needs to be aware of the player coming around behind him. That is Twist, though, with the orb. It's a difficult angle for him to push. Brolin has done well to win that aim battle, but it's still not out of the frying pan just yet for Fnatic. Look at this position from coldzera. He gets the bomb, and the smoke will go down as well. This makes it almost unwinnable for Twist, and there you go. coldzera with 2.
The pre-fire as well. He never even had a chance, Twist. Trying to make his way down the stairs, and he just runs straight into a flurry of bullets.
Yeah, it might have been better off like trying to jump and use the shotgun orb for, I don't know, some crazy style play, but realistically, it was never going to be an easy round for him to win at that point. As soon as Brolin goes down, that's over.
Yeah, 1v1 against coldzera. May as well give up anyways.
That's true. 11-9, and MIBR start to get within striking distance. They're not just there yet.
Fnatic's money's broken though. That's going to get them a lot closer, particularly if they can make this a nice clean round win. Only one alive in the last round is going to keep their economy very, very low. See, they're very broke, so every single gun Fnatic takes away from them is going to make it easier for Fnatic to break down the economy and come back into this game.
I don't think MIBR is going to be too keen on that idea, Pili.
I'm playing pretty safe. Don't want to be taking these duels in the bathrooms.
No. Not when Fallen's AWPing as well as he is. I think it's fine to just set him on an angle, wait for someone to peek in, and you can pretty much bet that that player is going to end up dying. Now, JW has crept up quite close here on long, but he won't be all that much of a threat at all for Fur, who even follows with a kill onto Twist. It's just a slow but steady round out here for MIBR as they clean up Fnatic.
Not even a single gun lost. So MIBR in a fantastic position to continue this streak on the CT side. Singular AWP, 4 orgs, all the utility that they could ask for, and a solid 2k plus in the bank on all their players over on the side of Fnatic. They're going to be able to buy up into this round. Not the most fantastic of a buy, but the cameraman's getting pretty excited about the fact that Fnatic have taken a timeout here.
I would be.
Me too. What have they got in store for us?
Yeah, it's very cool the way that the group stages has worked out this time, Pili. Obviously.
Very nice, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, the group's all being played at Bankstown Sports Club, and there's viewing parties going on there as well. So you may have a chance, if you're interested, of seeing your professional CSGO player heroes. If you do go to those viewing parties.
It's a mall nearby where they have all-you-can-eat hot pot and Korean barbecue and ice cream. And
ice cream?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sold. Take this headset away from me. I'm going to the viewing parties at the group stage.
No, if the players aren't taking advantage of that, then I'm sorry. If you don't have energy for your game and there's all-you-can-eat, you know, multiple delights right near you, I don't know what else to say to you guys at this point.
Well, what's going on in the Fnatic 200 IQ brain right now?
Well, they're going to have to dig deep on this T side.
You know, we're seeing a lot more mustaches in Counter-Strike lately. coldzera's got his, you've got Gratisfaction, you've got Mac.
Has Grat started this? Was there anyone before him?
Oh, there was certainly people before him with the whole Movember shenanigans, but...
Yeah, that's true. But his is the dirtiest and most prominent.
That's for sure.
And we all know that those adjectives in particular really do inspire greatness in others.
Even Crims is thinking about it.
Yep.
Does it count, though, if you've got a beard? I don't think it does.
I don't think Taco's going to be a pro Overwatch player anytime soon.
No, he doesn't need to worry about that.
Unfortunate.
So obviously some sort of issue with Crims's computer. That's what we're waiting on, everybody. Let's have a quick think about how IEM Sydney has gone thus far. We know 3 out of our 4 teams that are going through to Qudos Bank Arena: Liquid, NIP, and NRG.
Pretty solid list, I must say.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling great. Those are some pretty solid teams, I must say. I'm very, very excited to see how these playoffs do progress. You know, it is sad not to see Australian teams and all that, but
hey, it's not
I just like
yet.
seeing good Counter-Strike personally, man. Like, and let's face it, our region, not the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little surprising to me in a way. I thought Renegades would actually be almost a sure thing to go through the Qudos Bank Arena, right? Because this year actually has been the best lead up for Renegades. You know, in 2017, 2018, they were more of an outside chance. I wouldn't even really say they were a dark horse in a way. Like, they were the underdogs. But coming in this time, they were like within the top 5 in the world at one point.
Yeah.
But obviously the lead in, unfortunate with how Qudos Faction's visa worked out. Even Jacobs to an extent for ESL Pro League. They weren't playing with the core roster. I don't know how much of an issue that has been for Renegades. And obviously they're not making their way to Qudos Bank Arena. We know that much now.
But one of these teams will be. Fnatic backs up against the wall. 9 rounds on the board, but they're going to need more. Otherwise, MIBR, they're going straight through to the quarters, mate. Fnatic going for the connector control. 3 lads walking through that part of the map, and MIBR with some aggressive short B control gives them a lot of information. Could potentially be punished for that, though, if Fnatic do cotton onto it. Pretty easy to storm out the connector and make things happen, but it will be the smoke deep onto the brackets and the flash sending these players deep in, but Faller gets the first pick onto Brawl.
Fur also going to get the better of Twist, just in the side of the head. No worries at all. Fur's just going to find another. He's continuing the push on forward. He wants to go to the playground.
Absolutely crushed. All that time. Big timeout, big chat about what we want to be doing. Long technical pause, completely breaks up the momentum. Fnatic comes straight out of the gates and get absolutely dumpstered. 5-0 in terms of players alive for MIBR. Back to the drawing board again, I guess.
Yeah, back to square one as well for Fnatic, and they don't really have that much time left to work with here to sort of work their way into this game. You know, you can always talk about slow starters and that kind of thing, but it's not an option anymore for Fnatic. 13 rounds is up for MIBR. There's 3 rounds between them and Qudos Bank Arena, and Fnatic, if they're going to get something going at all in this series, it has to be now.
Fnatic trapped behind the utility of MIBR, but not for a second longer, although they do get dunked by a nade, trying to set up this B play with the half-buy of the pistols. Look at this passive setup from MIBR. A totem pole on the right side of ABC from MIBR. Just going to scope in with those Orcs and destroy Fnatic coming into the bomb site. But the wall of smokes across ABC will allow free passage for Fnatic. Except for that, Cold Zero cops a dink, but opens things up. And
yeah, through the flashbang, he's even been able to make something happen there. JW looks like he wants to push on forward, and could this be the play that might win Fnatic the round if he gets the sense that Taco is boosted up here? This could well be 2 frags for him. Spots out Taco so close, but he's just like bunny rabbit at that point, bouncing up and down, and that's bought enough time for MIBR. The smokes have faded. Fnatic, their chances fading away here as well, as MIBR will secure their 14th round, and it's not even really that much of a cause for celebration. It looks like it's just a standard day at the office for the Brazilian squad.
yep, did say that MIBR player was a bunny rabbit, and we all know what they're good at, and that's what they're doing to Fnatic right now. Fortunately, they haven't been able to get any T rounds at all in the last couple, apart from that 6 and that 3-round streak or so on the T side. They've been completely shut down by MIBR. No momentum whatsoever. Here's going to be another chance for them on the half-buy to actually, after the half-buy rather, to actually make something happen on the full-buy. Twist has the orb. Which hasn't really been a factor for Fnatic in this series thus far. Obviously, the first map was Nuke, and they got completely shut down on that T side, so never really had an opportunity to get it rolling.
Well,
what an angle from Fallen, though, in connector. This is potentially a one and done.
Oh, you say that, but this is Fulham that we're talking about.
How has he had so much space to be able to just fire off 2 shots like that?
The man makes things happen, and what it is going to be is enough to put MIBR through to match point, surely. 2 players, Crims and Brolan, you don't give them much of a chance of making this round Fnatic's.
Definitely not. Just look at that spacing in the connector there. Like, Fnatic's just too switched off at this point.
Phelps on the angle. Doesn't actually manage to connect the shots, but he does spot the Fnatic players walking onto the side, and he gets a second opportunity. Finishes off Brolan. Crims will tap his head away. Nice done from Crims, but I don't think it's going to really be enough to really trouble MIBR. There's coldzera on the side. No worries at all. Now match point. Qudos Bank Arena point as well for MIBR. And they did definitely miss out last year, but they're back with a vengeance.
Pretty lackluster play for the T side into this round in particular. Don't know what they're going to be able to get done with this one. I mean, nothing's really been working for Fnatic. All right, lots of players over here towards B. Just going to try and shove towards that part of the map once again. Will be slowed down by the utility of MIBR, but again, aggression into short B, double Molotov onto the pipe, allows Phelps to go for the pick, and he just gets away with it.
Certainly does. Going to be able to back away into the site itself, into the safety of his teammates. Fnatic slowly but surely losing the round, slowly but surely losing the map and the series. And MIBR do not look concerned at all on this B-bomb site. They're just chilling, having a picnic.
Right, so they have the short B and the monster control, but that's about it. JW trying to look for anything he can find towards this toilet area from the top of connector, but he's already got Fur behind him.
That's exactly as you said. Fur behind JW. Another player falls. And another chance for Fnatic dissipates slowly but surely. 3v5 now, and Fnatic just, they seem totally out of ideas now. What are they going to do? We've got a few smokes to play with, but I don't know that it's going to really make much of a difference. MIBR have been hitting everything at the moment. Twist does get one entry, which is a brief moment of hope, but it won't last too long as the trade does come from Phelps. 2 players left alive for Fnatic. Very quickly going to be cleaned up by Fur, and there we have it. We now know the 4 teams through to the Qudos Bank Arena as MIBR. They make amends for last year, but the question becomes now, how much further can they go?
Yeah, bit of a shaky performance across most of the tournaments from MIBR lately, even including Pro League, where they dropped a series to Luminosity, but in that series in particular, looking totally dominant and moving forward in Sydney now that they have secured a spot in the arena. It's going to be absolutely insane if they keep this form up.
It's not the end of the run, though, for Fnatic, because they do drop down into the lower bracket. They'll be facing up against Chiefs. I'm still feeling fairly confident that Fnatic will at the very least make it through to the lower bracket final.
Yeah, they definitely should do so. I mean, there's some weaker teams down there for them to be able to chew up and get their form back on track before they head into the playoffs. So I definitely have faith in them to be able to make do with that.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about when it comes to not only the lower bracket of Group B, but also the lower bracket of Group A. So much going on here at IEM Sydney, but that's all from us here. We're going to jump back over to the analyst desk.